Hello and welcome to one of the messiest, most chaotic vlogs I think I have ever made. This week was a bit of a doozy for me because I decided to vlog while also traveling home to California, and that did not go well. Instead of doing that, this is 2 weeks combined, heading into midterms, and just scrambling to do well as a graduate student. So thank you for joining me today, and I'm going to just let the rest of the video take it away, and voiceover Katie will be back later.
I have donuts.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Come on in.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled us, we were
Hi.
and now there's something in the air.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Katie. I am a graduate student at Parsons School of Design in New York City, or I should say, in New York City. I am currently in Central Park doing a photo shoot with Dani and Kaylin Grace Apple, the Redhead Academic. So I am going to take you guys on a week in my life, and this is what we're doing.
Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the earth.
And I need a pencil. Oh, there it is. All right. Hello. Good morning. Happy Monday. Today is a very special day. I am living my best life. I mean, I've been living my best life for like the last week or so. I'm really sad I didn't vlog last week because I had a good week last week. I did a lot of interesting things. Like, I took myself to the Met and I went to the New York Public Library and all this kind of stuff. But c'est la vie. Anyways, like I said, it's Monday. Did I say Tuesday? It's Monday. I have my first class of the week, which is called Materiality of Fashion, which is where we talk about the material aspect of fashion, the fact that fashion is object-based, which is surprising to me that this is even like a new perspective to take for fashion studies, but I digress. As someone who comes from an archaeological background, things being object-based just makes sense to me, especially since fashion doesn't exist without the garments. Anyways, I have a lot of thoughts that I haven't really had the opportunity to sit down and share about my program yet, and I am working on that, but this week is not the week for that because I am also flying home to California tomorrow. I'm visiting the fiance, seeing my best friend, hanging out with my mom for a very specific reason. I bought tickets to go see a particular band back in 2019 when I did not know that the pandemic would happen and that I would not be able to go to the concert until 2022 when I'm living in New York and my tickets are for Oakland, California. So I leave tomorrow, but right now the thing I'm really excited about is that for my Materiality of Fashion class, I'm so sorry, you are getting the ADHD version of this story. I am going to the Metropolitan Museum of Art instead of the classroom today, and we are going to the Textile Center where I will be getting to actually look at, touch perhaps, and analyze a fashion garment from the Met's collection. To say that this is a dream come true is not an over-exaggeration. I have been wanting to work with objects in a museum space in some capacity for a long time, and back when I used to be a cosplayer as a teenager in high school, I had kind of like a small inkling that working with historical garments, working with costumes, working with just the material might be something I would do in the future, and the fact that I am here right now currently doing that for my graduate school degree. Who is she? What is this life I am living? I don't... I'm clearly very excited about it. I'm in a great mood. The city is starting to grow on me a little bit. I am adjusting. I am feeling better. And I also have some really interesting research niches that are starting to develop as I go through like the process of writing assignments and exploring things during my time in the classroom. And I can't wait to talk about them more, but I need to go. Bye. I'll see you guys there. All right, let's go. So I almost didn't make it onto the train from Jersey to New York. I caught it at the very last second, which is good because I'm barely making it on time. I have like 5 minutes to spare. But I also jumped onto the train right as the doors were closing and I got caught and I ripped the buttons off of my waistcoat. I feel like it was bound to happen at some point. I'm just like a little bit embarrassed that it did. Like, 'cause everyone stood there and just like watched it happen while I struggled to like get myself through the door. So that was fun. Alright, hello. It is now the evening. It's like 11, maybe even 11:30, I'm not sure, and I still have not packed for my trip that I'm leaving for tomorrow afternoon. And I have class tomorrow at 9 a.m., so we need to get this done as soon as possible. Let me make myself a little bit more decent so I don't accidentally flash the camera, and I will be right back to pack. So while I pack, I want to talk to you guys about what today entailed, because obviously there's no footage from what I got up to today because we weren't allowed to take any video. We were allowed to take photos, but we're not allowed to share those photos on social media. But I can't tell you what I did. Our professor picked out items for each of us to analyze with each person in mind from the class. I ended up with a 4th century Coptic Egyptian fragment of what they think was a sleeve. And it was just there on the table in front of me, and I got to walk right up to it. I wasn't allowed to touch it, but I was allowed to get very up close and personal with it. It's made from wool and linen, and then what's really interesting is that it's just a plain weave. And plain weave is like, when you do a weaving project when you're in elementary school, you go over one thread with another thread and under the other thread, over and under. That's a plain weave. But what was really interesting about it is that there was a section at the bottom that was tapestry woven. That tapestry woven piece was a separate piece and then sewn onto fabric that made up the rest of the sleeve. In the Western world, that's known as applique, which if any of my viewers are here for my cosplay days, then you would know that I've been an avid sewer for most of my life, and I have even done applique myself. So to get to see this 4th century, literally like thousands of years old fragment doing the same techniques that I still do today it was pretty dang cool. One of the people who works at the textile center is someone I actually follow on social media and I admire very greatly, and so she and I got to have a really interesting conversation about academia and social media and wanting to continue being makers and practice while still engaging in research. A fantastic day, and it put me in such a mood. I even went to Michael's after class. The vest I was wearing today, some of the buttons have been falling off since I bought it because it's thrifted. Bought some thread and new buttons to put it back on because I just miss making things. But I haven't really made anything bona fide in so long, and I really miss doing it. I miss cosplay, I miss sewing, crocheting, just working with my hands. So I've been talking to my professors about how I can go about doing that again in conjunction with my research. I need to continue packing. I keep meaning to catch you guys up on where I'm at in terms of the program and what I'm learning, and it is so hard to keep on top of everything that I am having a hard time even just realizing what I'm reading myself. How did I used to do it? I used to sit there and talk to you guys about my readings, and I just simply don't have time because the pace of grad school moves so fast. I'm supposed to be packing. So that's something I'm still struggling with when it comes to the whole grad school experience, is that it just moves so freaking fast. You're just getting unfiltered brain right now. I really need to do some sit down videos where, when I was at Berkeley, I would talk about my classes. Oh well, I have free time, I should do my readings, or I should edit a YouTube video, or I should do this, that, and the other thing. There's just too many things to do. I should stop talking and... Say, see you tomorrow.
I look forward to it. I love you.
No, say, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Well, I think you land at midnight, so it's technically 2 days.
No, say, good night.
Good night.
I was holding it up to the camera.
Filming?
Yep.
You can be a warning. You can say, hey, I'm gonna film. Can we do a filming take instead of having me sound weird and confused?
1 week later.
Long time no chat. I am back on the East Coast. I was enjoying my time with my family far too much and I forgot to vlog. I am back. It's Tuesday. Class was canceled, so I've been home all day. Let's study together. Alright, I'm calling it quits for the night. I really did just sit here for most of the day and do my readings for class. We are currently talking about fashion and gender, which constitutes the need for reading a lot of feminist theory, and feminist theory hurts my brain. I find feminist theory to be some of the most densely written theory, the most doesn't make sense. Like the sentences just don't make sense to me type of theory. So I struggle to read it, even though it's very important and I think really applicable. It gets so abstract that I have a really hard time following. I know I just closed my computer, but let me tell you what I read today because I want to practice telling you guys more about what I've read as I do grad school. So the first thing that I read was Performative Acts in Gender Constitution, an essay in phenomenology and feminist theory by Judith Butler. The introduction of a book called Crossing Gender Boundaries, Fashion to Create Disruptions of Gender. And then I also read a second article from that book called Clothes Unmake the Woman, in parentheses, How Fashion Can Contribute to the Representation and the Making of Genders and Participate in the Production of Gender Systems. That is what I learned this evening and I can't wait to talk about it in class. My brain hurts though, so I'm gonna crawl into bed and do some knitting and go to sleep. Peace. Hello, I told you voiceover Katie would be back shortly, so here she is at the end of the video. Like I said, this video was messy all over the place. Organizing the footage was really difficult for me, but I tried to put it together in some kind of cohesive storyline. And although I didn't manage to vlog very much on this day, on Wednesday, I am going to leave it here and I'm going to pick up the vlog again on Thursday because that's when my midterms crisis started. Alrighty folks, ignore the giant pimple on my face that is currently bleeding. I had class, and it was my class called Fashion Studies Key Concepts, where we go over the various key concepts that people use to study fashion through. Today was fashion and gender. Then I had dinner with a friend, and now I'm heading to Trader Joe's. I need to pick up some groceries because I am completely out of food at the house, and I really need to eat, so that's what we're doing. So thank you so much for watching. That's the end of this one, but stay tuned for my midterms video coming up next, and I'll see you in the next one.